On 1st and 10, Brissett. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Boston Scott, his first carry. And for a second straight play, just nowhere to go thanks to this Carolina defense.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. They go play action with Brissett. And that is incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And take it right on the 30. And shoving his way inside the 35. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. He's got the first down and more past midfield. Touchdown, Carolina! Christian McCaffrey, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it, and he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. He was trying to hit Thomas that time. He's had it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. A tale of two extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you...
And he's taken down here by the Saints. Trey Hendrickson. Credit him with his sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that. Give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. So on 4th down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first two drives. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. And now the ball's out, fumbled near midfield. And I think they are going to get this one back. Boy, that would have been something, double turnovers. But instead, they'll keep the possession on the INT.
Ready, 56, 9, sweetheart. Watch the safety creep. Look at it. Wait.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's second and 6. Back to throw, Newton. It's complete to Hopkins. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. That goes for a gain of 31.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays? Let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Going to run the sweep here. This is Hopkins. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
Ready.
On second and 12, Newton, he finds his man, the tight end Olsen. And here he'll get it down to the 7. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Demario Davis able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, it's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And he hated taking the loss there on third down. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it first and 10. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. So finally completes his first pass. Credit the defense, though. They've been showing him some different looks, keeping him off balance.
Yeah, I like the observation that you had there, because when you give him different looks and give any quarterback different looks, it takes just a little bit longer to process sometimes, and you don't throw the ball with the same confidence. You're not sure that that's where you should go with the football, and that's worked for the defense early in this game, and now he's got his first completion. Let's see if his confidence comes back and he starts to get into a nice little groove.
They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Out of the gun for Sam. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Brian Burns, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll punt it away for the second time. Taking it about the 16. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in
And this is caught at the 20. And he'll be down deep into New Orleans territory. A big play there for Carolina. 58 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. You need your wide receivers as blockers. Sometimes they get a hold.
The big runs are often a result of what they do on the perimeter. In this case, got caught holding, and this one will come back.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
Check three.
Newton now to throw. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Money. 47. Here we go. All day. Defense. All day. 8.
On second down, McCaffrey. He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Throwing on third down, Newton. And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack. Cameron Jordan wreaking havoc with a sack. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Brian Burns make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Another try after the first down sack. Brissett. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Fletcher Cox has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And they're going to sack him yet again. The pass rush has been relentless. This time, it yields a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
This is McCaffrey, and he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Rush in.
Out of the pistol, McCaffrey. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Now whistles here, and it looks like we've got a Panther that's having some difficulty down there getting up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
20. Check 13. Check 13.
The shotgun snap for Newton. Eluding the pressure right. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down. So an instance there of Cam being Cam. We know he can use his legs.
And with that big body, it's hard to get him down, even if you get a clear shot on him. Plus, he moves it a lot faster than what people think. And boy, does he have fun playing the game of football.
Now a toss. This is McCaffrey. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line.
It's a loss of 2. Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 31-yard line.
Ready? Yeah. Mike 58, right there.
On 2nd and 12, Newton. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Trey Hendrickson able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So now Cam leads the Panthers up following the sack. Carolina facing 3rd and long. Here's Newton. He's going to air one out. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, he bounced up after taking a sack and took a shot downfield. I think a lot of us thought maybe he'd run draw in that situation instead. Tried to get all back in one play.
Yeah, 3rd and long. Thought he needed the deep pass. Couldn't connect it.
Maybe he was hoping for a penalty downfield to give him the yardage they needed.
Pilardi now on the punt as he sends this one away. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. Here's Brissett. He's going to walk one. Deep left. And this is taken in. It's complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. 39 yards there. A big one. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. That was Dante Jackson, the one who got a hand in to knock it away. The Saints on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This time they face a 3rd and 2. To throw is Brissett. He'll take a shot for the end zone. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. So instead of fourth down, first down.
Well, so much for winning the down you put a lot of emphasis on, because third down is key for offense and defense. Instead, you're going to stay on the field and start a new set of downs.
This is first and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime.
Under 10. Hey, watch that.
Brissett again. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
Running it with Armstead. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Raquel Armstead, his second touchdown on the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Lutz good on the extra point. And this is back to an 8-point game. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but
and they get to Newton and take him down for the sack. Cameron Jordan able to record his 5th sack of the season. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get, because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double teamed and sometimes triple teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon.
47's the mic. 47's the mic.
McCaffrey on the counter. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. The Panthers on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. Now it's Newton. He's going to float this one deep right side. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. We're set now. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by James Bradbury. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. You're under 30 seconds to go. Field position not great. Time to call it a half, wouldn't you say?
Well, you know we all have that little extra gene that says let's push the envelope a little bit, right? What needs to be going through the play caller's mind right now, a potential fumbled snap that can get returned, a strip sack that can get returned, right? Any of those types of plays, that should be a deterrent to calling something that could get you in big trouble.
So we come upon halftime, intermission here with the visiting Panthers taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. The Panthers out in front, and they will get the football first. Second half action underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Draw play as Newton gives to McCaffrey. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. Out of the gun, Newton. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Cameron Jordan in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed.
He's got a man complete. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 42 yards. Hey, you need a big play? Go to your big play guy.
Listen, that's football 101. When you have to have it, you expect that guy to step up. A lot of people call these receivers divas. Sometimes just leadership when they get in the huddle and say, get me the ball. I'm about to make a big play.
Let's go. Let's bring it.
Going with Armstead, a first down carry. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or two. On 2nd and 11 now. Brissett. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Play action now. Brissett. Open man is Michael Thomas. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding goal. And
you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
So now they assess a 3rd and long, and that holding call might have knocked him out of field goal range, at least for the moment. From the gun, here's Brissett. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Brian Burns in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. And here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Right to the 3. Gun.
Now on 2nd and 16. Newton. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line. It's a sack. Alex Anzalone in there with pressure yet again. That is the 7th time that they have dropped him here this afternoon. So now Cam leads the Panthers up following the sack. Carolina facing 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Newton. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. And where will this be spotted? The side judge says it went out just across midfield. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. A second down throw for Brissett. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Off the play fake. Here's Brissett. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's fourth down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
At their own 41-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Give him 18. It's a Carolina first down. So the ball moves from their own 41 to the other 41 here for first and 10. On the ground, McCaffrey with a first down and more. And down to the 28-yard line. 13 yards, first down, Panthers.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Back-to-back good plays. Have them on the move on first down. From the gun, Newton to the catch made by Hopkins. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. They had two straight first downs, now a gain of 9 to set up second and 1.
At the 18-yard line.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable second and 1. Now Scarlett, and they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last two possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Newton on first down. Flush to his right. He's got it for a Panther touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Brissett. He's got Smith here. 11 yards there, 1st down. 4th quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You got the 1st one for the 2nd one to even matter.
A 1st down throw for Brissett. That's going to be caught by Kirk. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks. And they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Come on, set. You want to end it. Set, go. Strong right. Strong right.
They go play action with Brissett. It's caught. Smith. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
That's another Saints first down. 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line.
From the red zone now, Brissett. Got an open man, it's Scott. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
51.
Into the air once more. It's Brissett. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Here we go. 180. 56. You ain't got nothing. Kill.
McCaffrey. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
On 2nd and 9, Newton under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Cameron Jordan, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
3rd and long.
So now Cam leads the Panthers up following the sack. Carolina facing 3rd and long. From the shotgun to McCaffrey. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
Partner, I know my grade school teachers never would believe this, but I can absorb a lesson. I think there's a lesson in this one. He's having a great day running the football, but occasionally they're going to find a way to stop you, aren't they?
Yeah, this time the defense stepped up in what's been so far a tough game for them. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And that will make this now an 18-point ball game. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them.
And, my goodness, another interception. Dante Jackson picks it. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that.
And got his man complete. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Big stop, let's go.
Here's McCaffrey. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since.
Get ready, get ready, get ready. Check, cross, cross. Gun, gun.
McCaffrey on the toss right. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on for the 5th time here today. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Out of bounds as he appeared to be looking for the corner. He got it. They're going to mark this at the 4-yard line. Now, if you're a fan of punting, this game's for you. He's been out there quite a bit. That one maybe his best yet.
Yeah, he certainly got his leg loose by now. It kind of reminds me of my college football coach, John Majors. He loved the punting game because he liked the positioning, the field position, and he loved to play defense.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Thomas, the intended target. And now it's 2nd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Open man is Kirk, complete. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. First down, Brissett. Pressure pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Fletcher Cox in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas, and now it's 3rd down. The Saints on 3rd down, a pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever. Now Brissett. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game.